All right.
I'm wondering, is it the weather? Where are you?
I'm in Houston, Texas. Well, I'm in Houston,
Okay.
Texas. So
Okay.
I don't know. But again, to all the many fans and supporters, we do apologize for the inconvenience. We have it rectified, knock on wood, but we're back and we're being joined live by the super talented, of course, Miss Shirley Jones from the legendary Jones Girls. We're talking about her new hit single, When You Love Somebody. And also I want to talk about the new album. Have a forthcoming
Yeah.
album coming out. Can you tell the listeners out there about the new album?
Yes, it is a tribute album to my sisters, Brenda and Valerie, that I started back during the pandemic. And it was a year or so after Brenda was tragically killed in 2017. Um, when I realized that now both of my sisters and my mom were gone, I felt that I needed to do something for them. And so I started writing songs. 5 of the 9 songs on this album I wrote or co-wrote, and they all have live instrumentation because that was
Okay.
the big thing back in the day.
Yes.
and I'm doing background on most of them, so that I'm giving you that Jones Girls sound. And so that's the doing all of that. Even for the last 2 songs, this one and another one on the album, I went back to Detroit, got with McKinley Jackson, who started it out with us as our manager and writer and producer on every Jones Girls album with Philly International. Went back and had him co-produce with me, and it is going to be it's going to take you back to the very first Jones Girls album, the At Peace with Woman, where you have excellent quality music, musicians, and song choice.
Mhm. Now you have me salivating, waiting for this,
Yeah.
waiting for this album. Your songs, the Jones Girls songs in general, have been sampled so much over the years, and now we get into as far as royalties being paid for sampling songs and everything. It's amazing to me that I'm happy now. A lot of these artists are being paid for sampling these songs because I know at one point, every time I looked around, you could wait a minute, that's an Earth, Wind, and Fire song. Someone just sampled another song from the Jones Girl. I'm wondering if they're getting compensated for
Well,
this.
it's a bit complicated, but it's yes, we are now starting to, because it's about our intellectual property,
Right.
especially when they sample something that using our voices. Now, a lot of our songs have been covered, which like what Escape did with Who Can I Run To, where
Right.
they pretty much did the same song. But yes, it is a but I love that because people, um, when they sample like Nights Over Egypt, my God,
Yeah.
everybody has sampled that. Um, and the writers, Cynthia Biggs and Dexter Wanzel, they do get paid. The
Okay.
writers, yeah, they do get paid for those samples now quite well because you have to get their permission now to in
Right.
order to sample.
Because I know at one particular point in time in the early 80s and late 80s, they weren't seeking permission. They were just doing
Just
it.
doing it. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they were just doing it. I said when I got you on, I wanted to ask you, what was your thought process when you started seeing all these different record stores, from Sam Goody to Music Land, the
Mhm.
Warehouse, Tower Records closing?
I was in tears because I'm a big '80s girl,
Right.
'70s, '80s, and the albums. Going there just to flip through the albums and those album covers and read the liner notes. See, those are the things that you miss now,
Right.
and that's why for this record I did what's called a lyric video, uh, where the lyrics are there so that people can, you know, read the lyrics along with hearing the song. I'm getting ready to do a regular video too, but I figure that would kind of remind you of back in the day when you could, because we used to just go to the record store to see our albums where they were placed, and
Right.
while we were there, we were looking through everybody else's albums. Because I mean, that was the most fun part of the album, was those covers and then reading the liner notes, and then the most of the lyrics were printed on the inside so that you could kind of sing along or know what the person was singing. So I truly, when those stores started closing, I'm like, oh my God, here we go. And now here we have streaming.
Yeah.
We have streaming.
It took me a while to just kind of get acclimated to, wow, all these record stores are closing, but then you go over to the UK and Japan and Germany and Switzerland, vinyl is huge. They still have
huge.
record stores
Huge.
out
Yes.
there. I wanted to ask, as far as touring is concerned, have you thought about going over to the UK and performing over there? Because they love you over there.
I'm always in the UK. I was just there, 9-10 months ago, headed there again. And not just the UK, Europe next year. I'll be in Portugal, as well as the UK again, and Greece.
Okay.
So the world, because Diana Ross first took us over there as her background singers. And from that first time in 1976 up till now, we have a fan base over there that's incredible. So I absolutely go over there, have friends there. And based on what happens here in the next couple of years, I told a couple of people I may be moving there for 4 years or so to get away from the U.S. for a minute. Seriously, if we don't get our act together.
You are not the first artist that I've conversed with that said the same thing. And I've always took a stand on that. I think here in the States, we've become spoiled. I think that we really don't appreciate our artists. When you go over to Japan, you're treated like royalty.
Yes.
That kind of respect. And I don't care what line of work you're in, everybody wants to be appreciated for what you do.
And over here, you're as good as your last record, even now.
Yeah.
But over there, it's you're appreciated for your body of work. Those people know, they learn so much about the artist. People, I used to joke with them when I would be over there and in my audiences performing, because they know all the lyrics and everything. And then they're like, oh yeah, you and your sisters and y'all went to this and you did that and they know this. And I'm like, y'all know more about me than I do. I'm serious. Because they appreciate not just you or the latest record that you have out, but your body of work.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, because like you said, what we're seeing now in the industry is basically the flavor of the month. What's hot right now? You make one song or a couple of songs, and then all of a sudden you disappear, and they don't focus on the body of work. When you would buy an album from the Jones Girls, you would get a full album of great songs and great harmonizing. I don't see that anymore. I really don't see that. Where do you think we fell off at as far as that is concerned?
When people started just putting in fillers on albums, for filler songs, because one of the things I used to love about Philly International, we would sit down at the beginning of whichever album we were working on, and Gamble and Huff would say, okay, this is the concept for this particular album. And consequently, even though we would do maybe 13 or 14 songs to get the 8 to 10 that would be on the album, they were all learned, and we recorded them with a particular concept in mind. Like that first album, Gamble and Huff really wanted to show our harmonies, the Jones Girls. So you have songs on there like I'm at your mercy. Who can I run to? You're going to make me love somebody else. This feeling's killing me. We're a melody that really show the harmonies that we became so known for. So, but then when people start putting in, oh, hey, this record right here, this single's gonna be the big hit. So we'll just throw together, any kind of song that they may not even be related to a concept of an album,
Right.
just to fill up and get that album out there as quickly as possible.
Do you think, and it's just my opinion, I may be wrong, won't be the first and definitely will not be the last. I truly believe the labels look at the record buyers, music buyers of the day, even on as far as streaming, is being naive. Because as you said, well, back during that time, you had to come up with a concept to put an entire album together. Every song counted. And what we're seeing now is that we'll make one or two good songs to stream, and then everything else is completely irrelevant. And I'm sitting back with, this is all that you have. You're not bringing anything else. There's no balance anymore.
And when they started letting people be able to click on, once this song or that song, wherein when you have a concept of an album, you drop that needle down and you ain't got to pick it up. You just every song from the first song to the last song on both sides, A side and B side. You didn't have to pick it. And now, it's like, okay, I love this song, but then you move on to the third or fourth track and skip the other, and I just like being able to put that needle down, and the same with streaming. Yeah, let it go. That's me. That's let it ride. That is when you've got a good album, when you have a good project, and that's what In Loving Memory is gonna do for you. You're gonna put that thing on, stream it, and you're not gonna have to say, "Oh, I don't like this one." I'm telling you, because I have sat there with each song, and I know that's going to be the reception that it gets.
I have no doubt in my mind that's exactly what we expect to happen. And also, family, remember to get the new hit single, of course, When You Love Somebody. It is available on every digital outlet, and make sure you do that. How important was it to have outlets like Soul Train, American Bandstand, and also the Midnight Special during that time to be able to get out and really show what you can do?
That because you were exposed then to, like now, social media, you're exposed to a lot of people, because we did Midnight Special several times with Diana Ross, and of course Soul Train several times, both, with the girls, and then when I had out my solo project, because you were exposed to a massive audience then. That back then that was like the social media of today.
Right. Well, it's a completely different social media now. It's like right now they want to know every aspect of your life.
And I love that. And the podcast and all of that, I do. I love that, because that's like back in the day, And I think it makes people appreciate the music more when we do shows like this, and you get to know, where I'm coming from when I was putting this project together, because you don't have that physical album anymore to turn over and read about it, So now we can talk to each other and talk about it.
Right. I guess what I missed I missed a sense of mystery, because you and your sisters created such, as far as glamour, and such a sense of mystery and aura about you. So when we did get an opportunity to see you on TV and perform, it was like a huge gathering. Do you think a lot of times somebody can they can put too much music out where the audience is just not ready for it, to accept so much at one time? Too much exposure.
These kids nowadays, every 2 or 3 months, they feel like they have to drop something else, put something else out there. And I'm like, we just getting going, with what you had out a couple of months ago.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so definitely. And that's why this record is the first one from this upcoming album. And my last album that I had out was 2015 or 2016. So it's been, because I have to put a concept together in my head. Then I start writing what the songs that I'm going to do on there. Then I start reaching out to other writers that I know, what can give me what I'm looking for based on the concept.
Right.
So that's I take my time. I can't put out something, every other week or every other month.
I understand. How important is it to have the right kind of producer to work
Oh,
with you?
it is so important. Like I say, when I heard this song, I was trying to decide, and I had a couple of people in mind, but because of what I wanted uh, this song to end up being, I decided to go back old school. Hey, I went back to Detroit to McKinley, and I chose him for the arranging and for to co-produce it with me because I knew he would give me that back in the day old school beautiful music, beautiful, like that guitar, that acoustic guitar in there and that break, those types of things, those little intricacies that a lot of times you don't hear in records that are produced or done quickly.
You and your sisters, Brenda and Valerie, had such a very close, unique relationship. And I know when you lose someone that you desperately love and care about, I know when I lost my mother, it's almost that you can still, even though they're physically not here, you can still feel their presence. And I wanted to ask you, working on this music, working on this new single, working on this album, how much did you feel their presence in the studio?
Every moment, every moment. In my performances, when I'm on stage, I feel them and really kind of visually see them applauding me for keeping that Jones Girls legacy alive. And that's what I intend to do because, our careers were cut short because of, deaths,
Right.
unfortunately. And I took my time in finding when I decided to come back out about 15 years ago, it really in 2006, after my mom passed, I said, I need to get on back out there. And Brenda and I tried to work, but then she became ill. And I said, I got to keep. So I took my time and finding the right background singers. And they've been with me for 12 years now. And they give me that Jones Girls, they give you that closeness and those harmonies so that I can do my thing to recreate what the Jones Girls did some 35, 40 years ago for
It's
my audiences.
it's hard to believe it's been that long, but that just shows
Yeah.
you how fast time
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 flies.
goes by so
Yes.
fast. And it's something that I remember an interview you did maybe around, I say about 10 years ago. And one of the things that really stuck to me, you said, you can never recapture time, and each
Right.
day is important, and to cherish each day.
Yes.
We're living in the moment right now. What would be some of the things that you would like to tell your fan base out there as far as the appreciation that they have shown you and the amount of love that they have shown you over the years, and they're still with you? They love everything you do.
I will tell them that their love and appreciation is what is keeping me going. I'm telling you, because they hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, my website, my YouTube channels. They hit me up, and in fact, my son and nephew have started clipping some of those statements that people make when they say stuff like, Oh man, me and my sisters used to hold up hairbrushes, and we were the Jones girls. You guys are such an integral part of our lives. Thank you so much for that. They don't know those when they hit me up and respond, because I look at my Instagram, my Facebook, my website. I read everything. I really do. And that is what keeps me going. That's why I know that the body of work that my sisters and I did, songs like "You Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else," "Who Can I Run To," "I Just Love the Man," "Children of the Night," "Dance Turn to Romance," and of course my "Do You Get Enough Love," and the iconic "Nights Over Egypt." That
Yeah.
body of work, people, they love it, and they be like, and in some of my shows, they'll come up and like, "Oh my God, I forgot that y'all did Dance Turn to Romance too. Oh, that was my jam. I used to at our high school parties, we used to turn that on and we would dance. Oh, no, thank you for being here, and that is what keeps me going. I am determined that as long as I'm here, people will not forget the Jones Girls.
Absolutely. And remember, family, to get all the latest updates, make sure you stop by the official website that's at shirleyjonesgirl.com, and also on Facebook at Jones Girl Shirley, and Instagram at Shirley Jones of the Jones Girls. Make sure you follow, subscribe, support. It's important. And I cannot wait till the new album comes out. But in the meantime, since you've provided us with a slice of cheesecake, make sure you get that new hit single, of course, "When You Love Somebody."
Yes, yes.
When are you coming to Houston, young lady? You need to come out here and perform. We would love to have you.
We're putting together some things now, but it'll be next year, because I'm pretty much, this year is pretty much closed out. I'm everywhere, probably. Mainly, I'm in DC before the year is out. Chicago, Raleigh, Detroit. But Houston's not on there, so I'm gonna make sure Houston's gonna be on there in
Please
2024. Yes,
Please
definitely.
do. We have to have you out here. And I have a couple of albums, and I would like them autographed if that's not
And
too much of a deal.
I will definitely do it. People bring a stack of albums to the show, and then, will you sign them? And the thing is, they're in such great condition. I'll be like, "You
Yes.
sure you want me to sign them?" Absolutely, because they have them in this wrapped in plastic and everything, and those things like that keep me going and keep me knowing that, hey, the work that my sisters, the body of work that we did, all that practicing and rehearsing and trying to make sure that our harmonies were the tightest. My mother used to say, "All girls, you gonna rehearse and practice until your harmony's so tight you can't cut it with a knife." And she was absolutely right. We took it upon ourselves after she trained us, that because once that first album came out, we were like, we're gonna keep this sound and keep giving people what they want with those beautiful harmonies where it sounds like one voice, one voice. And that's what all that hard work and practice paid off. And I'm so appreciative. And every time, so people, please keep hitting me up on Instagram, Facebook, Shirley Jones of the Jones Girls, my website. Keep sending those remarks, because I absolutely love it, and it keeps me motivated to keep on keeping on for you.
We love you and we appreciate you. And it is an honor for me to have you on the show. I love your music. You have brought so much happiness to us. Again, we're both 21. So
exactly. 21 and holding.
And I'm loving it. Much continued success in whatever you need. Please do not hesitate to let us know. Again, family, be sure to get the new hit single, "When You Love Somebody," and the new album, the forthcoming album, will be "In Loving Memory." That will be coming out very, very soon. And what I'd like to do, and I do to all my guests, I call them family when they get on the show, when they have something to promote, I buy a certain amount of albums or CDs, and I will give them away as gifts to winners on the show. So I will definitely do that for you. And again, whatever you need, please do not hesitate to let me know, my queen. It was an honor to have you on the show.
Well, it was my pleasure, Teddy Bear. I love your voice. I love your show. And until next time, be blessed.
Yes, Lord. So it is written, so it shall be done. The lovely and captivating Miss Shirley Jones of the Jones Girls here on Traxx Radio. Want to apologize again, family, for the technical issues. We finally got that taken care of. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and allowing the Teddy Bear to help you tune out all the negativity. Again, be sure to get the new hit single, When You Love Somebody. Be able to, it's imperative that we get some real music in our lives. There has to be a balance. Hey, and make sure if you didn't have an opportunity to see the interview in its entirety, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's at Traxx Radio Music. That's with 2 X's. We're on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, and also, of course, on Facebook, Traxx Radio, and on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Traxx Radio. And also, we're on TikTok. Yeah, this is where we're at. Modern technology. Lord have mercy. That's at Traxx Radio on TikTok. And be sure to get all the latest updates. And again, without you, there's no Teddy Bear. And as in always, I want everyone to have a wonderful rest of the week and the upcoming week. We got some more stuff for you. Don't need to worry, but you got to find out. Follow us to get all the latest updates. But as in always, keep it soulful here on Traxx Radio. Lord have mercy.